Problem 16. Four numbers are written in a row. The average of the first two is 21, the average of the middle two is 26, and the average of the last two is 30. What is the average of the first and last of the numbers? First, we can write four different spaces and call the numbers A, B, C, and D. So we know that the average of the first two, A plus B over 2, is equal to 21. The average of the second two, B plus C over 2, is equal to 26. And then the average of the last two, C plus D over 2, is equal to 30. So we're looking for the average of the first and the last, which is A and D. So the average is A plus D over 2. So we can see that here we have A in the numerator, and here we have D in the numerator. So if we added these two values together, we would get that A plus B over 2 plus C plus D over 2 is equal to 21 plus 30, which is 51. However, we only want to find A and D over 2. So we want to subtract this B plus C over 2, which we know right here. So if we subtract B plus C over 2, which is equal to 26, we get that A plus D over 2 is equal to 25, which is answer choice B. Problem 17. If n is an even positive integer, the double factorial notation represents the product of all the even integers from 2 to n. For example, 8 double factorial is equal to 2 times 4 times 6 times 8. What is the units digit of the following sum? We can find a pattern among the terms, and the answer will be very clear. So 2 double factorial is equal to 2. 4 double factorial is equal to 2 times 4, which is equal to 8. 6 double factorial is equal to 2 times 4 times 6, which is equal to 48. But since we're only looking for the units digit of the sum, we can just focus on the units digit. 8 double factorial is equal to 2 times 4 times 6 times 8. So we can just multiply this 8 here by this extra 8, and then we'll have something that ends in a 4. Then 10 double factorial is equal to 2 times 4 times 6 times 8 times 10. So we know that whatever this is, it'll end in a 0 because this 10 introduces that 0 at the end. 12 factorial, double factorial is equal to 2 times 4 times 6 times 8 times 10 times 12. Notice that this still has the 10, so it'll still end in a 0. And we know every number from now on will end in a 0 because it will have at least one factor of 10. Therefore, the only numbers that contribute to the units digit of our sum are the ones we've already calculated. So we want to find the sum of 2, 8, 8, and 4. 2 plus 8 is 10, so that doesn't contribute to the units digit. And then 8 plus 4 is 12, which means the units digit will end in a 2. So that is answer choice B. Problem 18. The midpoints of the four sides of a rectangle are -3, 0, 2, 0, 5, 4, and 0, 4. What is the area of the rectangle? First, we can plot these coordinates on a grid to get a general idea of what's going on in the problem. So -3, 0 is here, 2, 0 is here, 5, 4 is up here, and 0, 4 is here. So we can see that these points, when connected, form a parallelogram. We can also imagine what the rectangle would look like. If we extrapolated these sides outwards, we can see that the rectangle would look like this. And if we draw an X in the middle, we can see that this would be the height and this would be the length of the rectangle. But we also notice that these areas on the outside are equal to the areas on the inside of the rhombus, which means that we can just find the area of the rhombus and then multiply it by 2 to get the area of the entire rectangle. So the area of the rhombus is equal to base times height. In this case, the base is 5 because it goes from -3 to 2. And then the height is 4. So that's equal to 20. So the area of the rectangle is equal to 2 times the area of the rhombus, almost as if these were flaps being folded inwards. And that means that the area of the rectangle is equal to 2 times 20, which is equal to 40, which is answer choice C. Problem 19. Mr. Ramos gave a test to his class of 20 students. The dot plot below shows the distribution of test scores. Later, Mr. Ramos discovered that there was a scoring error on one of the questions. He regraded the tests, awarding some of the students 5 extra points, which increased the median test score to 85. What is the minimum number of students who received extra points? So we notice that if there are 20 students, that means the median would be between 10 on the left and 10 on the right. So if we want the median to be 85, that means that we'd want both the 10th and 11th student to have scores of 85 so that the median between them would also be 85. Right now, we calculate how many values are greater than or equal to 85. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. However, we need the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th score to be equal to 85. As we can see here, we can just take these 4 scores as 80, add 5 extra points to 85, and that works. So that's answer choice C. Problem 20. The grid below is to be filled with integers in such a way that the sum of the numbers in each row and the sum of the numbers in each column are the same. 4 numbers are missing. The number x in the lower left corner is larger than the other 3 numbers missing. What is the smallest possible value of x? First, we can fill in the missing boxes with variables a, b, and c for the boxes that aren't filled in with x. So we know that the sum of the rows, by summing this row up, is -2 plus 9, which is 7 plus 5 is 12. So all of these rows must sum to 12. And then similarly, all the columns must sum to 5 minus 1 is 4 plus 8 is 12. So we know that a plus b minus 1 is equal to 12. So a plus b is equal to 13. And then x plus c plus 8 is equal to 12. So x plus c is equal to 4. Then similarly, a plus x minus 2 is equal to 12, so a plus x is equal to 14. And then 9 plus b plus c is equal to 12, so b plus c is equal to 3. So first we can focus on this equation right here, a plus b is equal to 13, because we want to minimize a and b, because x must be greater than a and x must be greater than b. And in order to minimize both of them, we want to put them as close together as possible. So we could set a and b to be 6 and 7 is equal to 13. And if x has to be both greater than 6 and 7, the smallest possible value would be 8. So we can try that out. If x is 8 here, then we know that this entire column needs to add to 12. So that would mean that 8 minus 2 is 6. Then we could fill this in as 6. Then we could fill this out right here. 6 minus 1 is 5, so that would be 7. And then right here, that would be -4. So we can see that this case works. Therefore, the answer is D.